Doomsday Book, 1086, called this town Sudtown. Quite why, I've no idea. These days, however, it's better known as Plymouth, nestling between the rivers Plym and Tamar in the county of Devon, England. A few cities boast a more impressive maritime history. In the 10th century, Sir Walter Raleigh's attempt to colonise Virginia started here, and in 1690 the Royal Dockyard was founded. But Plymouth is probably best known for the exploits of this man, Sir Francis Drake, a cool sort of guy. He finished his leisurely game of bowls on this very spot before setting off to run the Spanish Armada ragged in 1588. And little has changed here, apart from the addition of the odd lighthouse or two, that is. The magnificent air of the Hoe is much the same as it always was. But not the mariners. Today's offering of seacraft include the racing boys and girls of OCR. A motley crew, Drake might have called them, but nevertheless equally as dedicated in battle. In this case, winning the 1995 Offshore Circuit Racing title. Well, first action of the weekend, as always, is a fly past. Didn't include that one, incidentally. An opportunity to catch up with a few of the favourites. Starting with C-Class and championship leaders, Sharon Attlee and Jackie Porter. Serving notice to the boys. They've had it all their way too long. C64, Bruce Mortwood, driver, Sharon Attlee's husband, Ian, navigator, lying second behind his wife. A big family feud here. Drake would have liked that one. Ricky Volante, driver, promised Caroline Volante, navigator, a wedding ring if they won the title in 1994. They did, but he hasn't got round to it yet. Too busy racing. B-Class now, up to 1800cc this one. Mike Andrews and Simon Lingard from Cornwall. No points so far in 95. Surely they'll put that right today in the ex-championship winning B19. Robert Hunt and Dave Leach from London lie fourth in B52 with 2 fourths from round 1 and round 2. Second with 13 points, another couple, this time husband and wife, Gary and Angela Archer. She says they don't argue because he always does what he's told. I've heard that one before. A-Class, up to 2 litre this is, 1994 champions, carrying number 1, Ian and Andrew Blacker, Reading. Bad start this year, 2 rounds, nil point. A50, Bob Baker and Kevin Hoare, always top 3, well, up until this year that is. Another crew with nil point so far. Graham Hastings and Jeff Wood, A3, and one of the new space age looking hydrolifts appearing this year. How about 20 of those racing together? Makes you wonder. A5, Bob Reeder and Gary Manchester in the Scandinavian build Argo. Second last time out at All Hallows, and in my book, the quickest crew on the water. A6, Dave Wilcock and Julian Abbott, another of the 4 top crews in 94. Pointless again in 95. More evidence, though, of how tough it's getting out there. 7 times national champions knocked off the top of the pile by the Blackers last year. A28, new determination this year. Nick Barsh and Peter Ansters, second with 12 points. Leaders then by just 1 point, another of those magnificent and exciting to watch hydrolifts, Andy and Graham Gittings. Remember, Graham fell out the boat here last year. There's a rumour they velcroed him in this time round though. And finally, 97, another Argo, but yet another poor start by a favourite. Things can only get better though, as the song says. And certainly, Chris Auger and Julie Lewis will be hoping just that. Well, that was the fly past. This is a start. 30 boats. Now for proof, this is where the real powerboat action is these days. Standard engines, standard hulls, affordable, close, exciting. You could go on and on. But the simple fact is, this is a crowd puller, and it's great entertainment. And as always, the end of the first lap favours the brave. Organ 97 leads Barsh 28, but not for long. Watch out though for number 10 Rendell, number 5 Reeder, and a smart inside move by number 1 Blacker. There. So, Reeder and Blacker keeping Barsh wide on the right-hander. Left-hander, though, coming up. And compliment repaid. But I did say Reeder was the quickest man out there, and that's the proof. B-Class is Hunt and Leach and the AA-sponsored Phantom who lead. Archer's second, though, 2.1 seconds down and under some pressure. And this time, not from the wife alongside. But here, Simon Lingard, navigator in B19, hanging it out on Mark III in front of the home crowd. C-Class now, Mortwood and Attlee though, first through, so Ian Attlee ahead of his wife at this point. Facing another night locked out maybe. Second is 47. And our first look at Nigel and John Burke, representing Wales in the 16-foot Reaver. And here's 49 then, Dixon Scientific, Sharon Attlee. So championship leader with a little bit to do already, and clearly with a problem. End of lap 2 now, and Blacker up 4 places to first. Well, he's been tight to the marks all the way round that lap, and that's what's paying off here. Needs the points desperately, that always helps. Oh, there's Reader through in second and Barsh third, but it's Blacker who's going to get to the mark first. You've got to say on this twisty circuit, and in this sort of mood, he's going to be difficult to pass in the next 13 laps. There's the battle for fourth. Sterling Wilcock and the appropriately named Derek Basham all together. B-class still 52, but with a dwindling advantage now over 77. C and still 64, Bruce Mortwood and Ian Attlee call the tune. And on song for a second win of the Tour. Just 4 seconds ahead of Ricky Studley and Caroline Vallanti, now on a roll here. I wonder what he's promised her this time. One thing's for sure though, in OCR they're always close, they're always exciting, and for most of the time, simply inseparable. Back to the action with 3 laps to go. Blacker still looking good for 9 invaluable points here to begin the defence of his title. He certainly has no intention of letting anyone pass him, that's for sure, including this man, Nick Barsh, Samsung Cameras. Blacker pinched his title last year. Now it's a question of catch me if you can yet again. But can Barsh do it? You have to wonder. Baker's third. This is the battle for fourth. Auger versus Wilcock. Great scrap. Further back, Studley and Vallanti still chasing Mortwood and Attlee in C. Husband and wife, the Archers, up 1 from second to first. Oh, nagging does work after all. Chased hard though now by the local lads, Andrews and Lingard. There too, up 1 place to second. That means Hunter Leach is gone. Still no fireworks in C. Processional stuff. Mortwood and Attlee 64, making sure of that. The Norwegian Tintorera looking good for a maximum here. Oh, and that's a minimum. No Plymouth luck coming the way of Mark Greenaway and Cathy House, that is, in the Argo 20. Oh, and no luck here either. That's a crew member out of 70. After that battle with 6 we saw. This is the result. I think that's Derek Basham, actually. Yeah, he was the driver. He went for the bath. And they're queuing up to pass now. A3, Graham Hastings and Jeff Wood look back. They've been there before. So Basham gets underway once again, a little damp no doubt, but bags of gritty determination and loud applause there for the Devonian. This is Martin Rendell and his brother under pressure. A5, Bob Reader still third in 2 litre but under attack, looking over his shoulder there. Well, and that's why Baker and Hoare and another of the Dixon Scientific boats closing in for the kill in the 20-foot Phantom. And here comes Basham, number 70. Now, will he stay in the boat this time? Yes, is the answer to that. And yet more applause. Second place in C, plays first place in B. Still no way past for 77, but they don't care. They still lead their class with 1 lap to go. Baker again, but without Reader this time, and we'd hear that he's out with a blown motor. So bronze maybe now for number 50. But not if 15 gets his way. Ian Sterling and A.D. Dickinson in hot pursuit. And now Basham drying out, but time running out. Mortwood and Attlee then into their last lap in control. Almost looks too easy there, doesn't it? Almost caught then by the overall winners in Andrew Blacker, number 1. The faultless run, leading on from lap 2. Chased all the way by Nick Barsh and Peter Anstis and Samsung Cameras. But no doubt about the relief in this boat, number 1. They desperately needed those points. No doubt in which direction the biggest cheers are going. Derek Basham and Lindsay Walker eventually finishing 6th to take 1 very precious point. Elsewhere, the day wasn't nearly as fraught. Mike Andrews and Simon Lingard in B Division gave it everything, but were never quite good enough to get past the Archers 77. They won to stay top of the league. Well, Bruce Maltwood and Ian Attlee then, it was all too easy for them in the end, and Ian went home to face the consequences. Overall results then, A1, Ian Blacker and Andrew Blacker, Kingfisher Security. First points of the season, and how valuable they're going to be. Barsh and Anciso keep their grip on things with their 6th. And the Archers increasing their lead in B class. And Mike Andrews and Simon Lingard, though, valuable points in the best of the season for them in front of the home crowd. In C-Class, C64, Bruce Maltwood and Ian Attlee then making sure that this division's likely to go all the way this season. Ricky Studley and Caroline Volanti, though, back in the frame. So, after 2 blank races, Ian Blacker finally gets what he came for, 9 points towards the defence of his title. How desperately he needed that. So it was time for them all to celebrate in A, B and C at the end of the day. We'll be celebrating the return of OCR in a couple of weeks when we take the next round from Burnham-on-Sea. And that, I can tell you, is worth watching.
And say what you like about offshore circuit racing, it remains one of the hottest properties in the world of powerboating. This is the 4th round of the 1995 British Championship from Burnham-on-Sea, England. A charming and popular resort nestling on the Bristol Channel coast, around 20 miles south of Bristol. It's a water sports haven. And the biggest showdown of the year has attracted the biggest fleet of the year. Everyone, it seems, these days wants a slice of the OCR action, including organiser here, Ricky Holmes. He's already calculated the sudden explosion in popularity.
It's very exciting, it's very fast, and it's relatively cheap. Compared to offshore, anyone can go in and buy a standard production boat with a standard production engine on and go racing. With this OCR racing, they have basic racing, which means the average skier can ski man can go out with his boat and join in, get the experience, and then move up into the main race.
And it really is that simple. It's a wonder no one's thought of it before. Anyway, almost time for the action here. Let's check out on a few of the crews, including Ian Vautier, first year in '94, and now back for more.
Yeah, glutton for punishment. A few little spills last year. The engine wasn't running right. This year, we're going, but I hear these boys are really quick.
Yeah, you had that very, very near accident in Guernsey last year, for which we have the shot. You must have seen that a few times now. It was close, wasn't it?
Yeah, very close, very close. I take my hat off to Mick Archer, Power Trucks, how he didn't take the engine and the boat from under us, I'll never know.
And let's take a look at that one more time. Ian Vautier hooks the boat here. Well, nothing he can do about that. Mick Archer's reflexes, thankfully, just quick enough. Well, maybe not quite the arena you'd expect to find a couple of girls, but the crew of C49 are just that, leading the championship to boot. I wonder what the boys make of that.
They do accept us as equals. It's very good. Yeah, they're very good.
You've got first-hand knowledge of whether they speak to you or not if you win. What was the reaction?
They do speak to us. Very reasonable, yes.
On their hands and knees.
No, this is a serious challenge, is it not, to win C-Class? You're not just out there for the fun. I mean, how realistic do you think your chances are to win the championship, Sharon?
I'm very keen to do as well as I can. If I can beat the men, that's a plus for me.
And a plus for most of the men too, I'm sure. In the top division, though, Bob Baker knows all about finishing second. Suddenly, when he might have expected an easier run, though, the competition's harder than ever.
Well, Bob Baker's been so many years now, nearly, but not quite. Anything to think that 95 is going to be different?
Yes, we believe so, Peter. It's a new boat, as you know, toward the end of last year. We've done quite a bit of work on it over the winter period. Bit of bad luck in the first race. We had to take evasive action, which caused a problem which we hope now we've resolved. And, well, today it's a bit too flat for us, but we hope to be up with them.
There's some pretty hot competition about, isn't there?
Oh, crikey, yes. I mean, there are 19 boats, I believe, today, and out of 19, there's bound to be some that are very quick.
Now, you've been, as we say, you've been racing for a long time. Has it ever been this tough?
No, definitely not. This is the hardest year yet, without a doubt.
So, there are all-girl crews and all-male crews, and the odd one or two who insist on taking the wife. Gary Archer's tipped his out 3 times, but didn't want to talk about that.
We've never raced here before, so we don't really know what it's going to be like. We've got a few tricks we're trying out today as well, in race conditions, so hopefully things should come together.
Can we hear about those new tricks?
Afterwards, Peter, if we win.
Well, a nice smile from Angela at the end there. Perhaps this week's trick will be keeping her in the boat. And so to the overall leaders, deposed champions Nick Barsh and Peter Anstis are on the comeback trail.
Nick Barsh, 3 races gone. You lead with only 1 win. I suppose that's a measure of the season ahead.
I think that's true. There's so many fast boats this year. We all thought we were going a bit quicker, and everyone's gone up by the same amount, and you know, there are at least 6 or 7 boats that could potentially win it, so it's very tough.
So there ain't going to be 7 victories then that win this championship, you think?
Certainly not, no. I mean, anything you earn these days is well earned.
And no one will be doubting that. Big crowds here then at Burnham-on-Sea, enjoying a beautiful sunny day. The water here is warmer than anywhere else in the UK, and that is an ecological fact. So, with most of the crews already on the line, let's recap quickly on the classes. Up to 1300cc, horsepower 90, speed up to 60 miles an hour, prefix letter C. 1800cc, horsepower 140, speed 70 miles an hour, prefix letter B. And 2000cc, horsepower 200, speed 80 miles an hour, prefix letter A. And the championship. In C, the girls 49, Sharon Attlee and Jackie Porter. Joint lead with 64, Bruce Maltwood and Sharon's husband Ian. The domestic duel. They're on their way now at in B. Gary Archer 77 with wife Angela top that division with 22. Another Attlee, Stewart 36 is second on 15. Joint thirds, Roger Hunt 52 and Ian Sanderson 55. Locked on